Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Samuel Lamani. I am a data analyst and I help businesses and organizations to provide solutions to their data problems. For today, I will be taking us through a presentation on a very powerful Power BI dashboard I created recently using or analyzing the data on point of sales transaction. This is my first time of presenting, and I want to believe that after this particular video, someone out there would learn one or two things concerning data analytics. Once again, you are welcome. So let's go started right away. My Power BI app is already opened, and I will just click on it, and once I click on it, I will have to go to the home tab. Just a minute. Okay, so here is the home tab. Now this particular data is a real life data, and this data is categorized into three. If you come to the field pane here, you will see that we have the balance. This particular tab shows the records of the opening and the closing balance for each day. And then you come to the expenditure. The expenditure tab here shows the expenses that was incurred for each day. And then the transaction has the records of the transactions carried out using the point of sale machine for each day too. Now when you come down here, you will discover that this is the balance report, this is the tab for the expenditure report, and then this is the tab for the transaction report. Now, like I said earlier, the home tab contains the overview of all the records, so it's just a summary. This is the title of the visualization, the dashboard, and then I created a slicer here that divides that can be used to identify the visuals based on their year, and then also a slicer, a month slicer, that can be used to identify the visuals based on to calculate and to get the visuals based on the months of the year. Now when we come here, these are the numbers of transactions that was carried out in the time frame of this data. There were 560 transactions, which produced the total amount of 2,473,606 naira. And out of this amount of transaction, the company has a commission of 45,533 naira, and then total expenses that were incurred was 37,307 naira. So we can see here that the commission and then the expenditure. They were the expenditure was quite on the high side as compared to the ventures commission. Now when you come to this particular tab, this is the navigation visual. Now this navigation visual, as you can see, when I click on it, the when I just hold it here, the right up says control plus click here to follow link, and then when you come down to the balance, you can still see it turns into a finger. So meaning that if I hold my control and then I click it, it will take me to the balance report. And then if I click, if I hold my control and I click it, it will take me to the expenditure report and also for the transaction. Now when you come to this particular visual, you will see this is the horizontal bar graph that talks about that shows the relationship between the closing balance and the opening balance for each month. Now based on what we can see here, we can see that the month of April has the highest amount of closing balance and the opening balance, while June has the lowest amount of closing balance and opening balance. Now when we come to this particular visual, now this visual talks about the commission, the monthly commission gotten, and it kind of compares the monthly commission gotten and the expenditure for that month. Now from the graph from the chart we can see here, we can see that February is having a very high expenditure. The expenses incurred in the month of February was the highest, with over 10,000 expenses incurred. And then in terms of the commission gotten, the month with the highest commission was in March, in the month of March, with commission of about more than 8,000 naira gotten as the commission. Now what are some of the insights we could be able to get or derive from this visual? More transactions were done and low expenses incurred during the weekends, which results in higher profits than weekdays. As we go across the tabs, we shall see more on this particular insight. Now expenditures got about 83% of the company's commission. Out of this, 30% went into food item purchases. So we can see that even from here, this amount 37 and then 45, they were a bit close. So 83% of the company's commission went into the expenditure, and then out of these, 30% went into food items, as we shall later see in the expenditure report. On the average, the company's commission was 81.3 naira, while profit was 14.7 naira on each transaction. So you can imagine getting a profit of 14 naira and then the company's commission 81 naira. So the differences between the difference between the both of them is simply due to the expenditure. So I shall now go to the balance report so that we can take a look at what is happening. In terms of, if I want to move to the balance and to the balance report tab here, I will simply hold my control key and then I click. Just a minute. Okay, so here is the balance report. Now I decided to categorize the balance report into the maximum opening balance by day and the maximum closing balance by day. Just a minute for the visuals to come up. Okay, so here we have it. I decided to create a pie chart which shows the maximum for the maximum opening balance for each day. That means within the time frame of this data, I wanted to know which day has the highest amount of opening balance. That is, before the start of the day's transaction, what was the highest amount that had been used to open the day's transaction based on the day, and we all know that there are 7 days in a week. So now when you look at the maximum opening balance by day, you discover that we have here 68.8 thousand naira. We have over 71,000 naira here. Also we have over 71,000 naira here, which represents 14.32%. And then we have over 71,000 also here. The same thing with here and here and here. Now when you look at all this data, you discover that this particular one has the highest. It has the highest, which is 71. This is over 71,500 naira, over 71,500 naira, which represents 14.42%. now, and this day was on a Saturday. Yes, it was on a Saturday. So Saturday has the highest maximum opening balance by day. Now let's come over here, which is the maximum closing balance by day. And out of this, where I try to look at the which day of the week did the company close with the highest amount. And when you look at it again, you will discover that out of all this data, this is 71.1, 71.2, 71.3, 71.5, 71.6, 71.6, and then 71.7k. You can see that too. So now when you click on it, we are trying to identify which day has this particular amount listed there, and then this is a Wednesday. So a Wednesday is the day which has the maximum closing balance. So you can see that. Now you discover that this particular visual is a responsive visual, is an interactive visual, in the sense that when I click on this place, you can see that this other visual changed, and then this other one also changed. So when I click here, which signifies the day by Wednesday, the visual here, which is a table, also changed to show me the number of transactions that was done on a Wednesday, and then the total commission the total commission the company got on a Wednesday, the total expenditures that were incurred on the Wednesday, and then the profit and the profit percent. So that is the power of a responsive visualization. Now when you come here, here is particularly a table. When we clicked on it, you can see here, so this is a matrix table that shows the days of the week and the number of transactions done for each day, and then the commission that was gotten for each day, and then the expenditures incurred, the profits that were made, and the profits made, and also and also the percentage profits that was made. Now when you look at this particular column here, number of transactions, if you sum up all these transactions, it will give you 560 as the total number of transactions that were made. And when you look at it, you see that on Saturday has the highest number of transactions. So within the time frame in which this data was recorded, Saturdays, which are weekends, records the highest number of transactions, followed by Thursday. Now the commission that was gotten, Saturday also has the highest by commission. And then when you look at the expenditure, Thursday has the highest with over 8,000 naira incurred on Thursdays. Now the profit, based on what we can see here, Saturday also has the highest by profit, and then the lowest, or the, should I say, the loss, losses were incurred on Sundays when there are no transactions but there are expenditures, when there are less transactions actually and less commission, but there were much expenditures. So that leads to this profit, and that leads to a greater profit percent. So all these visuals are interactive. When I click here, for instance, it will show the visuals for Monday. It will show the visuals for Monday. Just a minute. Okay, so we can see here. So the number of transactions done on Monday was 83. Now this Monday is not a particular Monday. Please, we should be aware of that. It was not a particular Monday. It was, that is the time frame, the Mondays within the time frame in which this data was recorded. Now let's say I want to look at this transaction by months. Let's say I want to check how was the transaction like during December time. How was it like during December? So I simply click on the months slider here, and then I scroll down to the month of December, and I click on December. Let's see what happens to the visual. Okay, very good. So we can see that the visuals have changed. Now in the month of December, the maximum opening balance for by day in the month of December, and then also the maximum closing balance by day in the month of December. So the highest was on this day, on the Friday, which is the highest, and also the maximum opening balance also was on the Friday, as you can see here. This was on a Friday, and these are the days in the month of December, and the number of transactions done, commission, expenditures incurred, profits made, profit percent. So without much ado, we shall now move to the expenditure report. Let's see what's happening in the expenditure report. So in moving over to the expenditure report, I simply click on my control key, and then I click this button here. Good. So here we have it. This is our expenditure. Just a minute, please. So this is the expenditure report. Now I created a card visual here which shows the total transaction amount, the total commission gotten from these transactions, the commission gotten by the venture, and the total expenses that were incurred. And then on this visual here, you can see this is the profit. So the profit is 8,000 naira 266, 8,226 naira. Now 8,226 naira represent 22% of the venture's commission, meaning total expenditure took quite a hold of the venture's commission. Now when we come to here, this is the horizontal, this is a vertical bar graph. We can see the visualization here, a clustered column chart. A clustered column chart which categorizes the expenditures by their category. Now there are several categories here, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, there are actually 9 categories because this category is no expenditure. There was no expenditure that was incurred, so there is nothing for this. So there are 8 categories in total. Now we can see here that food purchases incur the highest expenditure with over 11,000 naira spent on purchases of food, and then also the personal items also took over 7,000 naira. That so this is the expenditure by their category. Now I came here and I did a matrix of the data because I wanted to know, okay, if we say these are the expenses, what percentage of the expenses does this category take out of the total expenses? I wanted to know what percentage does this category what are the percentage and expenditure for each category. Now we can see that food alone took close to 30% of the total expenses, followed by personal item 19.4%, and then the miscellaneous miscellaneous items took 16.4%, and like that too. So when we come to this visualization tab, you can see that this is actually a matrix. Once again, you can also interact with this visual by selecting the part of the year you want to see, and also the part of the month that you would like to see. So now go over to the transaction report. In moving to the transaction report, you simply press and hold the control key, and then you click on this button here, and the transaction button will take you to the transaction report. So you are welcome to the transaction report tab. Now when you look at this particular report, you would see that the total transaction is still represented using the card visual, and then the total commission gotten is also represented. The ventures commission, which is 80% of the total commission, and then the POS vendors commission, the owners of the POS and device, they are the commission that is that the company gets is 11,609 naira, which represents 20% of the total commission. Now when you look at this place, this is actually a column chart. A column chart which shows the amount of transaction that involve banks. Yes, the amount of transaction by bank. Now as the customer comes in, they come in with different types of ATM cards, and also apart from that, they try to transfer to different banks. So I created a column chart to look at the amount of transaction out of this total transaction that was done, that was carried out using these banks, that was carried out involving these banks. Now when we look at this chart, we can see that First Bank actually has the highest amount of transaction by banks, with over 500,000 naira, 500,000 naira amount. Yes, 500,000 naira transaction amount. Now when you come here, this is a line chart showing the profit and commission by month. So the blue line shows the commission that was gotten for each month, and then the brown reddish line here shows the profits gotten for each month. Now when you look at this particular line, you can see that there is a very wide gap between both the commission and the profit in the month of February, meaning that more expenses were incurred in the month of February, meanwhile creating this gap. And then when you look at this the month of June, you can see here that they are almost interlocking one another, meaning that there were very little amount of expenses incurred in the month of June, and also as you go towards the month of December. The type of transaction, amount of transaction, and the commission gotten from each type of transaction. Now we can see here that withdrawal transaction took quite a huge amount of this transaction, and the withdrawal transaction has amount up to more than a million, more than 1.4 million naira. Yeah, withdrawal transaction has a total amount of more than 1 million naira, making it to be the highest in the types of transaction, while the lowest was a transaction involving cable subscription. subscribing to cable, and it was 2,560 naira, and the commission is also there. So these are the amount of transactions that were involving the this particular uh, this particular type of transaction. Now, when I click on the withdrawal um, type of transaction, I want to see how this data, how this visual take, right? To see that that was the total amount of transaction that was done by the that is accrued to withdrawal, and then to commission. It's complex withdrawal transaction, and then the venture, the total commission, and then the ventures commission, withdrawal, and the POS vendors commission that was getting by withdrawal transaction. Also, the commission payments. Just a minute for it to do that. So as you can see here, when I clicked on the withdrawal type of transaction, so the total transactions that was involving withdrawal was over 1 million naira, and then the total commission gotten is 34,000 naira, and then the ventures commission gotten from withdrawal transaction is 27,197 naira, which represents 80%, and then the POS and vendors commission was 6,883 naira. Now, when you look at it by banks, you'll discover that Access Bank actually has highest amount of transaction, yes, by withdrawal. When you look at it when you look at the withdrawal transaction, Access Bank has the highest amount of transaction by withdrawal. And also when you look at it, the profit and the commission that was gotten by withdrawal over the course of the year, you will still see that the profit was quite nothing really changed from the from the general profit and commission, and also the commission very little changed, because that of February, the commission actually went a bit high, yes, for the month of February. So I shall now go back. Now the insight that was gotten, the commissions gotten from all POS transactions within the represent less than percent of the total transactions. So commission is the total gotten from everything represent just 2% of the transaction, which to me is not really nice, because when you do transactions involving this huge amount of money, there should be sizable amount of commission that that should be derived from it. So they are just 2%, and then despite an increased average commission per month, the venture recorded losses in February and in May. So on the average commission shows an increase. Now, in spite of that, the venture still recorded losses in February, as you can see, and also in May. The losses are running in negative and also in negative numbers. So these are the reports that I created using Power BI on this data. I actually built several models using Power BI, and I grouped them into these different tables. Based on your request, or based on popular opinion, I would want to know if I should do another video. Yes, that is from the scratch. Yes, a video that creates this visualization from the scratch. So if you would want me to do that video, you want me to create that video, you just leave a comment on the indicating your interest, and when I see it, I would know that you really want me to do it, and by God's grace, I will make this to comply. So see you next time. Have a nice day ahead. Thank you very much. Kindly subscribe to the channel, and if you want to enjoy more videos like this, thank you. See you another time. Bye.